Tickets for Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter Tour went on sale Friday, but some fans are raising concerns about prices they're being charged for those tickets. Some social media users have pointed to seats in the same section going for more than 3 times the price, depending on when the tickets were purchased. The concept of dynamic pricing, in which prices are adjusted in real time in response to strong demand, that's being blamed by some fans for these changes. But take a look at this statement to CBS News from Ticketmaster. It said, quote, "Prices were set in advance of the sales by the tour. Ticketmaster does not have surge pricing or dynamic algorithms to adjust ticket prices." So what's going on here? For more on this, I'm joined by Andrew Mall. He's an associate professor of music at Northeastern University. Andrew, help us. How then did these prices seem to fluctuate as people purchase not just tickets for Beyoncé's tour, but other big concerts as well? I'm thinking Black Sabbath, Taylor Swift, and many others.
Good morning, Errol. Thank you for having me. The issue with the Beyoncé tour that I have read about, and I have to admit I did not buy tickets to Cowboy Carter myself, there seemed to have been several different pre-sale options, and some of those pre-sale options leading up to the public on sale on Friday looked like they had different ticket policies in effect. So depending on if you got your pre-sale through the Beyoncé fan club, through one of your credit cards, or through another option or opportunity, the pre-sale prices were set differently and may have employed dynamic pricing.
Okay, so pre-sales are the catch there. Help us understand, though, where the money for these tickets, when they go so high, gets to. Because in some cases, you've got scalpers who are trying to flip the tickets. But in the Ticketmaster statement, they say prices are set in advance by the tour. So where does the money go?
For the most part, the money does go to the artist and their team. So the real problem, or the real challenge rather, is that there are not enough tickets to satisfy demand. And when there are not enough tickets to satisfy demand, you have an opening for scalpers or people who are going to buy tickets and then sell them on the gray market to make some extra profit. That extra profit doesn't go to the people who organize the tour. That extra profit doesn't go to the people who perform in the tour or set up all the production elements. Artists typically do have control over how much their tickets are going to sell for, and there's an economic incentive there to adjust their prices high enough so that if there is a potential for more profit, that profit goes to the people who are doing the actual work.
But it seems as though there is a limit when it comes to fans who will complain quickly that despite their love of this artist, that the price is beyond their reach. So how do tours and artists strike a balance?
That is the huge issue that artists are facing with their management. Do they want to potentially anger or upset a huge portion of their fan base who are unable or unwilling to pay hundreds of dollars or hundreds of pounds or hundreds of euros for tickets? Or do they want to cut into the gray market, the business of scalpers, in order to ensure that whatever extra profit is being left on the table is actually going to the artists? Fans want lower ticket prices, but the fact is, if the ticket prices were lower, then there would be more potential opportunity for people to be making hundreds, if not thousands of dollars off of fans who couldn't get in fast enough or early enough to get those tickets. So artists and their management teams are trying to figure that out in real time, you might say.
So in the last few seconds, your best advice to fans who see these high prices for their favorite artists is?
My best advice is to stay local and to go to smaller shows at smaller concerts, see bands that maybe aren't at the superstar level yet. There's amazing music happening everywhere. Go check it out in your hometown.
Andrew Moore from Boston, thanks so much. That's the best advice. We appreciate you.